Okay. Great. Okay, great.
What year are you? Your junior also?
Well,
My name's Karin. I will be now. I'm grateful.
how are you? Do you guys on the Twitter? And we talk together. We have a class there.
Well, I think we can get started. It's actually 5:59, but nobody's counting, right?
Right.
I'm Rowena Cross-Najafi, and this is Karin DuBois. And this is Katie Smith and John Bush, and we all represent the Bedford Rotary Club. We're all Rotarians. And so I'm going to start just with this is the don't expect too much because we're all regrouping after COVID talk, right? This is the first year that we're going to do this program, which the Bedford Rotary Club did for probably half a century before COVID. So I'm from that old group that knew how to do it on paper, and we had a pretty thriving program, and so we're hopeful and very hopeful now that we see the three of you that we'll be able to do that again. Our child, her name was Isabella, our daughter, was an exchange student in France her senior year, and going your senior year, which all three of you would be going your senior year, is a special. It brings a special set of challenges, so we can talk about that if you're interested, like how you get your tests taken if you haven't taken them all and stuff like that. And applying for college from overseas is also quite an adventure. It worked out for her, and I know many other people. I think we've had other seniors, haven't we? Anybody who comes immediately to mind who made that? I was thinking outbound.
So
People from here who went there.
our last exchange trip was.
It was 2019, 2020. But this is a very old program, like it's older than any of you guys, and it may be older than your parents. I don't know, because I wasn't doing it a million years ago, but it's been around a long time, and I'm not sure how much it's changed. I don't think it's changed too much. The basic sort of framework of the exchange year is pretty much the same. What's changed is the way that we get paperwork done, the way we do interviews and all that stuff. So I am the district chair, which the district is basically the southern half of Indiana. And so far, besides Bedford, there's one other Rotary Club that is willing to dip their toe in the water and do the program this year. That's Corydon. And so we're hopeful that we'll have at least those two communities represented. When we talk about outbound and inbound, the outbound students are the American students who are going abroad. The inbound students are the students who come from foreign countries here. You'll hear that a lot, and it's helpful to know what that means. It's kind of the mental picture is there, outbound, inbound, you kind of get it. So Karin is our youth exchange officer here at the club level. And so this is really her program. So I'm going to turn this over to Karin to present her presentation. Am I supposed to smile? Try to get me with only one chin. It's getting harder and harder. What's that? Yes, we'll pass the microphone. And then after Karen's presentation, you both have questions.
Okay, so hi, I'm Karin DuBois, and I just wanted to share with you how exciting and amazing the exchange program is. I get to work with the exchange students when they come over. So that means that I've had to take a whole bunch of tests on Friday and pass them, plus my criminal background check and all that good stuff. And so what I do with our students who are coming here, they're called inbounds, is that we put them up in a home that is, I have to make sure it's, they all get background checks, everybody who lives there. We also go into the home, we take pictures of where the student will be. So this would be the same for all of you as you go to another country. We make sure that you are in a reputable home, that you don't have to have truly your own bedroom, but you do have to have a place to study and a place to do your homework. And you might share with a sibling that might be the same age, the same gender. You can't share with a sibling that's another gender. So those are just kind of the prerequisites. And then we have to send all those pictures in and everything. So the exchange program, I'm gonna just let the slides progress and then we can ask questions as we go. Yep. It doesn't want to go. All right, that's our only slide. All right, good night, folks. Have a good evening. Okay, so just a little bit about Rotary. We have over 34,000 clubs in the world. So you will be going to a home Rotarian. So they will be, that club will kind of adopt you, if you will, and you will be watched over by them. So I have a slide, I think, that says how this is different than other exchange programs. So we have humanitarian efforts. We are business, professional, and community leaders. We have high ethical standards, and our role is to build goodwill and peace in the world. And we unite more than 1 million people worldwide, and we are part of District 6580. So when you become an outbound exchange student, you would say, I'm representing Bedford, or I'm representing Rotary District 6580. That's Southern Indiana. It began in 1927 and had only European students. Then it became an official program in 1972. And today we have more than 8,000 students who participate in over 80 countries. Oh, maybe it's another student. Okay. So this is what our area looks like. This is all of the area of, where are we? Where are we? District 6580, right here. That's us down there. So you can see that we're part of the Central States Exchange, and that includes all of those states listed up top. And then we are that green part down in the bottom of Indiana. Yes. Very good. 1 million bonus points for you, young man. Awesome. He is paying attention. Yay, Morris. Awesome. Come on in. They just missed the boring part, right? Haley. Huh? There you go.
So who took that?
So he's still in India on a feeding tube, right?
Oh,
We're like,
oh my goodness. No worries. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for coming. No, yeah.
Higher Reynolds, the school, Bedford, North Florence, and
Ninth grade. Are you the guy I've been emailing back and forth? Okay. She's been emailing me back and forth and asked a lot of good questions. So I'm glad you were able to make it today, even though you had all those craziness going on. So thank you. Thank you all for being here tonight too. Thank you. Okay, so let's go on. All right, why Rotary over other programs? Well, we do an entire orientation training process before and when you come back. This actually is through the entire year. So this program that we're talking about would be for next year. It would start 2023 and coming back 2024. So pretty much.
just a small recap.
Sure, we just talked about, yeah. The only thing that we talked about was the Rotary Club. We talked about that if Kaya decided to go, that she would be a representative of District 6580. We showed that on the map, and we showed South Central region overall. And then we just talked about the entire mission of this youth exchange began as a piece promotion project.
Everybody has to go to the same spot, or is everybody on their own here?
So you can choose what country you want to go to. Yes. And we try to honor that. So that is, we don't do that. Central States oversees all of that, but they arrange your flight tickets, your passport, your travel, like set up to make sure that your host family is verified. They do all of that stuff. So we are kind of like saying, hey, this person from our local community wants to go. We want to sponsor them. And then they kind of do all that background check, verification, and all that stuff for us. So, okay. You're welcome. Okay. And then the Rotary Club, so example, when we have an inbound student come, we give them an allowance of, it's not very much, but it is something. We give them a cell phone so they can communicate with their home families. And we also give them $100. We pay for all their textbooks. We make sure they're set up in school and ready to go, and all their forms are taken care of. So when they go over there, they get you. Yes. You can definitely use your own phone. So my son just went to Sicily. He's in stationed there for 3 years. And all he did was he bought a Sicilian SIM card, traded that out. So people will have to connect with you through WhatsApp. They won't be able to text your phone number because your phone number will convert to whatever country you're in. But WhatsApp has been amazing. Like we FaceTime once a week, and I get to talk to them, and it's just amazing.
What if your host families don't have Wi-Fi or internet or anything needed?
Do they have to have
No,
Wi-Fi?
Don't have to, but I don't think you're going to find very many
Yeah.
families these days in any country, any place that doesn't. It's something that you get asked.
It's not a requirement for them to have Wi-Fi.
No, but how would you message your parents or anything if you don't have Wi-Fi?
It depends on what country you're in. Our daughter went to France, and this has been a number of years ago. When everybody had Wi-Fi, and she would go to a cafe after school that had Wi-Fi, and we Skyped all the time from that cafe. So that's one of the options. It just depends on the country you go to. There are there used to be internet cafes everywhere, but I think now that technology has developed to where a lot of cities have, sort of Wi-Fi within the city, it just depends.
If they're willing to take a kid in, they're probably willing to make sure they talk to their parents.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I don't think we've had a problem with any of the parents having,
Not in
Wi-Fi.
recent
Yeah.
years.
No.
With tech.
and I would imagine like COVID has made that even more prevalent, that most people would have some kind of Wi-Fi connection because they needed it.
They were all doing
Yeah.
homeschool.
Yes. Even our exchange students from Germany and Brazil that we connected with, they all were able to Zoom call with us because everybody. Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
That would also depend on the country you go to. Here, the inbounds can't have a part-time job, but they can like babysit every now and then or something like that. But they can't have a regular job because the purpose of the exchange is, you have to be enrolled in school, right? And so it's not an academic exchange in the sense that, like you get credit for the school that you go to overseas. That's again up to, in this case, BNL. All of you guys are BNL, whether they accept what you did overseas or not.
It might not. It might not accept it as far as credits towards graduation.
You'll have to talk to them. They did, in my daughter's case, they did. She went as a senior and she graduated as a senior.
That would make a big difference.
While she was still gone, she graduated.
So we'll that out.
Yeah.
Go another year to high school.
We
So-
had issues with
Yeah.
Mitchell, but even this is old news, so.
Yeah.
Karen, you.
Well, I was going to say that if we have interested parties, that we could always go to the curriculum department and explain how this life experience is definitely, more more of a eye-opening cultural awareness, peace mission, just all of those components and really push for it. So we just never have had to push for it.
I was curious.
Yes.
So a lot of my classes for my senior year are like low credit and like college classes, so how would that work? Give that up? and my
Can you
honors-
connect virtually to it at all? Like to, yeah, I didn't know if they broadcast
But
virtually and,
that's one of those things that you will sacrifice. The
mm,
courses that you take overseas are what they are, you know, and so like in our daughter's case, she missed that stuff. But at the same time, she got things, when it came time to apply to universities, the fact of her having been an exchange student was really a bigger plus than all of those dual credit courses and things that she might have done here. She didn't have any trouble getting, you know, accepted every place she thought she wanted to go. So it's not a disadvantage, but it's different. You know, all of your friends will be doing their dual credit courses and they'll be ahead a few credit hours and stuff like that.
So do we get like a choice of a class we would take over there?
A choice of,
What class?
yeah, so they'll kind of work with you to set up your schedule. It's the same as when we have an inbound student, we take their transcript, we go to the school and we kind of work with them to develop classes that are comparable.
but
To
that
what the
depends on
students would
something that
take.
depends on the
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
In France, they tracked kids into like arts and science. And so our daughter, just give me a second when we finish and then I'll get to you. Our daughter had, she was very artistic and so they pushed her over into art, but she knew she had to have chemistry and physics and stuff like that. So she went back and said, I need these classes. And they rearranged a little bit. And so she ended up being basically in both halves of the school, which was not normal for a French student. But because on the basis of her saying, you know, in the States, this is what I have to have, then it worked out. So as long as you don't hesitate to tell people what you need, you should be able to get it. People are pretty reasonable. Yes,
Would the homestay families know English at all, probably?
they'll
Right.
probably know some.
yeah, so that's part of their requirement that they have to. She said, do the families have to be English proficient? And yes, they do. They do have to be English proficient. They,
When you said the example about. what
Sure.
they were,
okay,
Each kid's on their own journey, got their own goals, but why they went to the exchange program to begin with. How much influence does that family they're staying with have over their journey in dictation? Like if they wanted, if I was over him, no, you're not working. Well, he wants that culture experience. How much, where's the give and take there?
so we don't really encourage them to get a job, like she
Right.
said, like odds and ends, like you want to get some extra money for like Christmas or something like that, or you want to go on a special trip, because Rotary will have throughout your exchange, they will offer, do you want to go here or there? Yeah, so it's really, it's, I guess it would just be what opportunities are there, you know, I would assume people would always want odds and ends, but it's
It
just,
wasn't about the money, it was about just the culture experience.
yeah.
Could that family dictate your journey?
Well, so the family can decide what vacations they want to take you on. They can decide, you know, like,
Their mom and dad.
yes, yes, they will really, like, you will bond with those parents like no other because they're caring for your children. So if they are going on vacation and they say, hey, like if you're, you know, if it were here, hey, I'm going to Florida, I'm gonna, you know, do you want your son to join us? And of course, then you give permission and they're going to take you to Florida and whatever. So we've had that actually happen. So hello, how are you? Oh, great. Here, do you want a snack? Drink? Yes. Okay, can I here and for you? Thank you so much.
Are you allowed to choose what state you want to go in the country, or is it like a pre-decided state?
So there are certain clubs that say, yes, we'll be willing to accept an inbound. So it just really depends on in the country, what club says they're going to host, because it is an expense to the Rotary Club, because we give them, we pay for their schooling, pay for their cell phone or while they're over there, and also pay for their stipend, a monthly stipend. So it is a cost to us. And it's definitely worth it, because the experience that we get, the learning that we get from the students who are here, it's just amazing. Like, you will never forget your experience, I guarantee you. If you go to another country and stay there for a year, you will come back with, I mean, I've seen my student from Brazil, the last one that came, she was so shy, timid. She wasn't very confident. By the time she left, I said, you are like a young lady now. She goes, what difference do you see in me? I said, well, you are confident. You are not afraid to speak up. Your leadership skills have developed. I mean, it's just amazing. So, yeah, it's just eye-opening.
You get attached.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to let them go. Yeah, it's hard to let them go, for sure.
Also, like with schooling, like wouldn't it be hard to like complete your assignments and stuff if it's all in a different language, or would it be?
Yes, I would imagine.
Many challenges.
Yes,
It's not what you're used to at all. And
Yeah.
it depends on which country you go to, how different it is.
Do most kids learn the language before they go? I mean, is that normal or not?
No,
some of them do. Some just learn it while they're immersed in it, and because there's no choice. For example, my son, he went over for the military, and he is in Sicily. He speaks fluent Italian to me now, and he did not study Italian before he went there, but he has to know how to speak it, or else he can't go to a restaurant and get food. He can't ask where the restrooms are. He can't ask where things are in the grocery store. So you just are going to learn it by necessity. But you've already been studying Portuguese, so, and you want to go to Brazil, so that would make it easier for you for sure. And we had students who, studied Japanese before they went, and they went over there and they came back and just, were so like culturally immersed that they were able to speak that language when they came back.
Kids adjust well.
Yes, they're fast learners, a lot faster than I am, but yeah, that's true. All right, so let's go on to the next slide. And then where do you want to go? We have over 40 countries that you can choose from, and this program, same length as a school year, so 10 to 12 months, and then almost a year prep before you go. Yes.
It's 10 to 12 months. It's like 10 during the school year, and then the other 2 during the summer. Like, you get to choose if you want to stay there during the summer or not.
So usually you get a little bit of time after school ends, and you get there before school starts, so you can get acclimated. So they don't want to start you the day before school starts and say, hey, see ya, have fun at school.
and there's
So,
a big
yeah.
conference that involves all of the inbound students who are here and all the outbound students who come back, like that's what you would be in mid-July. So we try to get everybody together here in the States. It's in Michigan and Grand Rapids in mid-July for a weekend. And then for that, you would come back. You wouldn't want to miss that. So, I mean, we've had 1 or 2 students who did stay a little longer and missed it, but you don't really want to.
I have one more question. I already read through all of the slides here. I was wondering, there's one that said that the rules and one was no dating. Why is there a no dating rule?
Let us get to that slide and then we'll-
Well, we want to make sure that you have a safe and productive experience, and you're not just, oh, I'm hanging out with my boyfriend every day and not going places that you're supposed to, like school and stuff like that. So that's really a big one. We had a student who came over here, and she went off on a weekend excursion with her boyfriend and didn't tell anyone. So when she came back, they said, pack your bags, you're going home, because if something were to happen to her, we would be liable. So that's part of the reason why.
The other thing is, if you get into a very close relationship early on, and this happened, it's been a number of years now, to one of our outbounds who got into a really tight relationship early on. And then the relationship broke up. And at that point, she's like, you know, a month and a half into school, she doesn't even really know anybody else. She's seriously depressed and she entered her exchange program. That's, you know.
Yeah, don't let a significant other determine your exchange, right? Way too important. So, yeah, what if you did break up with that person, right?
Yeah.
Then you're just like, I want to go home. I'm so depressed. And that would
Because
just
you're so
ruin the whole thing
invested
for you.
in
Yeah.
that
So
one,
I'm
you know.
not sure if we could get attached to them. Then you'll have to do something.
Yes. 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 Good points. Okay, good discussion. All right, let's go on. You need to be between the ages of 16 and 18 before you leave. And we really want you to be excelling in your academics because this is going to be a challenge, but also a wonderful experience. So if you're already struggling with your academics, believe it that this might, you know, be too much, and we don't want you to quit. We don't want you to give up. That's the thing. We want you to excel. We want to provide you with the support structure to excel. So I put on there, adventure is the best way to learn, and start yours today, because this truly is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And really, if you think about it, you want to do an exchange before you have a family. You can imagine how hard it would be to leave. Like you said, you have a significant other, you have children you have to take care of after you're going to school. This is, you know, truly the best time to do that. If your parents can stand to be apart from you, that's right. So,
No. they're
yes,
very different.
yeah, and it really depends on the school, how if they take the grades when they come back. So yeah, like I said, we could go to the curriculum department here and make a case for why they would need to accept it in the school you were going to and before you ever left.
B&L has been
Mhm.
very,
Mhm.
very good in the past. So we would not expect problems, but it's been 3 years since we did this.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
It's on an unrelated question, like it's not a personal question, it's just something I've been wondering. Like, I know that a lot about the exchange stuff is to learn the language and culture and stuff, but I was wondering if like an American, like from BNL or whatever, could go somewhere like Britain where they just speak English. I was wondering if that's like a thing that they could do.
I don't think England is on our list of.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm not sure, and I haven't
Let's
seen
see
the list for 23, 24, but I don't think they can participate.
Yeah, because I would love to go there.
Do you have the whole list there?
No, I didn't. Let's see. It just well, Kaylee is looking it up right now, so hopefully she can find some. This is just kind of directions on how to fill out the application and what you need. This doesn't have the list of all the programs on it, so.
What's that? It's not a hard and fast rule. If you're in the range, it's probably fine. We've had students who did not meet that qualification, but they had other compelling qualities that convinced us to let them go, and they completed the program successfully. So. yes.
What would be the other compelling qualities, like?
Oh, a high level of motivation, particularly, you know, sometimes like if a student has a job, for example, they may not have the time to work on their academics that somebody who doesn't, or somebody who's performing in, although we very frankly rarely get people in sports because the sports they feel are so important, they want to stay here and finish. But if we had someone like that, we'd be like, okay, you know, especially if it's kind of borderline. Maybe you're a musician or, you know, some other, you're excelling someplace else.
Some list of countries.
You get-
Okay, so here's the list of countries. Asia, we have Japan, India, Taiwan, Thailand. The Americas, we have Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, Paraguay. Western Europe, we have France, Italy, and Spain. Northern Germanic Europe, we have Austria, Denmark, Finland, Germany, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Sweden. Eastern Europe, we have Slovakia, Hungary, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, and it says exceptional. I doubt that some of these countries are still on the list. It says Venezuela, which I don't think will still be on the list for this year, Turkey and Zimbabwe. So, yeah. Yes.
You know that thing on the Chrome with the link that you sent me?
Yes.
Like fill out like all the information, so it's like 12 pages.
Yes.
What does that do? When do you have to like send that?
That's a great question. I think I put the timeline on the last page, but I think by October 1st is when we need just a commitment. Yeah. So it's a whole year process, right? So you will go to a conference to learn more about it, to talk to others interested in the exchange program. So
Your credit card or like something on the thing, but with your money, the thing you turn into them, or is it just like with information?
So you're just turning in your application, and then payment can be made like throughout the whole next year.
So you don't need to have money to turn that.
Right.
To apply.
Right, not to apply, yeah. Okay, going on. And we talked, Kayla, is it Kaya? Kaya, we talked, she said, how do I get money? Is there scholarships? Are there other ways? And you could start a GoFundMe account. I told her that is an amazing way. Like if people will say, put donations into somebody's account just to make them a millionaire, why would they not support somebody going on an exchange program and changing their life? And like you could do that. You could just start, raising funds. You could look for, I actually said I would help her look for some grants if that's what she wanted to do. And I'm not really sure of any, but we could, hey, it doesn't hurt to look. You don't find stuff until you start looking for it. So we are just really excited they have this program again, because we haven't had this for quite some time. So we're so excited to be able to bring a student over, and then also hopefully to send one of you guys out. Wouldn't you be so excited? What countries are you thinking about? You have to tell me. You speak Italian. Say something in Italian to us. I don't know what you said. It sounded beautiful though, right? Okay. You have some family there. Wonderful. That would be great, right? To be able to go there. Okay. Kaya?
Brazil.
Okay, Brazil for sure. Okay. We've had many exchanges from and to Brazil. Okay. You don't know yet. Okay. So all countries that we've sent students to and from. So I think that yeah, we could make this feasible if you guys are willing. Okay, let's go on. All right, you have to go to school. You can't just stay in your room and decide not to go, because that's really important. We want you to go there and just be a good representative from Indiana on a peace mission. That's really what you are. You're a peace ambassador. And I have to tell you, one of my students, she told me that when she was on the airplane going overseas, she had her blazer on with all her pins, and they treated her like royalty. She was like, I was like VIP Miss DuBois. They were carrying my suitcase and they were like, sit here, young lady. And she said,
a picture at that Rotary.
yes, so that everybody gets a blue Rotary blazer. And what you try to do is get the most swag. So when you go to conferences, everybody brings pins. So you will be decked out with like Bedford Rotary stuff. And when you see people, you will give them a pin, and to like other clubs and other organizations, because you're going to be a VIP over there, mind you. You're going to be giving them like a Rotary Club banner too. And those become keepsakes. We have about 50 different banners that we display at our events. We should have had it out tonight. Thanks so much. Just thought of that when I was talking about it. But yeah, and those came from students that visited our club or just came to the USA. All right, and we can't guarantee, but we can definitely try to help you get your credits. One of our students actually, Nicole Picorni, she didn't want to come back and do any classes when she came back. So she took classes over the summer and was able to graduate on time and didn't have to repeat a year either. So she was just like, I'm going to get it all finished. And when I come back from my exchange, I will be able to, walk in graduation and be done. So. All right. The 4 Ds, no drinking, drugs, driving, or dating. So that's what Kyle was talking about. Attend school. We really don't want you to work. You're not going to be able to come home once you go, though. That's the thing. When you go over there, if you come home, Rotary will pay for 1 trip home, and that they won't pay for another trip back. So when you leave, just think I'm going to be gone for 10 months. We'll be gone for the whole school year. That's a big thing to think about. That's very hard. But when you see them just mature, you'll just be amazed, really. And so they can use WhatsApp, email, and instant messaging. All right, we already talked about school tuition, room and board in the Rotary family, the monthly stipend, air transportation, 24-hour emergency services throughout the program. So we really take care of them. If we think they're in a not a good situation, wherever it would be, Rotarians respond to the call. So think of how many Rotarians we are all across the world. We're there and available for your student. And that's why this is so much different. I have to tell you that when my last student came from Hungary, his name was Christoph. He was also a friend with another exchange student, and she was from Japan. And that student would want to hang out with us all the time because she would say, your exchange coordinator does so much with you, and mine just dropped me off at this family and I haven't heard from them. So she was always like hanging around us just because we kind of adopt them like family. We don't just have them go to a home and we don't communicate with them. We take them places. In fact, I always encourage our Rotarians, oh, are you going to the fair? Okay, take them to the fair with you. Are you going here? Some of them are going on vacation to Chicago. They'll take the exchange student. So we really try to get them out. And I feel, and I know that our Rotary families all over the world would do the same, because that's what our mission is.
Hey, and he still likes Facebook posts that people put up.
He does. Yes. He still follows us 3.5 years later. So yeah. And he was on your soccer team. Awesome. Oh, that's great. Yeah, he was really wonderful. So yeah. Is that why you wanted to do an exchange program? Because you knew him? Okay. Okay, wonderful. Yay. Well, that's good. So you're probably you could be doing this presentation probably. All right.
Don't worry about the soccer. The kid from Brazil, everybody thought he would play soccer. He never played soccer in his life.
He was a soccer player, right? Stereotyping. All right. So, yep, ready? Okay, so our cost in 2019 was $6,500, but just think, I'm going to Sicily in December, and it's probably going to cost me about $10,000 to go there, and I'm only going to be there a week. It's going to be a very expensive vacation. So when you think about that, and you're there for almost a year, and how much you're going to get to see, as opposed to how much I'm going to have to cram in a week, it's really pretty amazing. And I would definitely pay that for my child for sure. And you can get a loan as well for this if you need to, but it will be an investment in their future that just is going to be priceless. But we want to be upfront with you and let you know how much it costs, because Rotary does not pay for their clothes. but we do ask the family to feed them. So they do to provide 3 meals a day. So at least know that they're going to get fed 3 meals a day. But if they want to go like, they have to have brand name stuff and everything, then they're going to have to buy that on their own. Okay, right. All right. And then we pay for your conference at Grand Rapids. We're going to meet hundreds of other exchange students from across the state. And they also form such a bond. Our exchange, what do you call them? Exchange conglomerate from the central states. They just know each other so well by the time those conferences are over and do such wonderful like leadership activities. And then you can buy additional insurance. And then if you want to get a language school, so it's not required, but we did kind of talk about if you speak that program or speak that language before you go. And we offer trips. Rotary offers trips during the exchange. So I think that for our inbounds, we offered an exchange or a trip to Washington, D.C. Over fall break, and then over spring break, like I think they took them out west, didn't they? Like I can't remember, or Florida, like they will offer different trips while they're on the exchange. So depending on what country you're going to go to, they're going to want to take you to the prime destinations. And you can, those are extra additional things that you can choose to do. And then we also pay for the school uniform. Okay, I think I already said that. All right, here's the deadline, the timeline. Applications are available right now online at csrye.org. And then we're asking that your applications are in by the end of next week. So did it require a lot of documentation? I tried to, it wouldn't let me look at the application without actually applying. So did you go through it and see how much it asked you to do?
Feeding the pages first, and I didn't. I only got on the second so far.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It wouldn't let me go through it either. But I know that this says that you have to have your transcript, your school reference. You have to sign some waivers, of course, that you have to supply. You have to get a passport, you have to supply a birth certificate, that kind of stuff. So. And that's on this paper that I'm going to give to you. And then we have interview processes. So we interview the applicants with their parents because we really had some students who want to go and they're so excited about it. And they're like, yes, I can't wait to go. And then we talk to their parents and they're like, no, they're not going. So we have to have everybody's commitment for sure. Yes. Before we move forward. So that's kind of what the interview is, just to make sure that everybody is aware of all the what will happen and how the exchange takes place. Yes. Well, I guess that's a good question. How do you?
Yeah, both parents have to agree.
There you
And
go.
there's
Both parents.
a form, I think it's with the application. Back when we did applications on paper, it was, but I don't know. But anyway, yes, both of your parents will have to agree to
Your passport, you have to, you already have a passport. To get that, you'll have to sign to for the permission on there. We have to do that.
And then you'll go on to district interviews in Bloomington. They're just, once again, verifying that we're not sending people who, really might want to come home after they're there for a week. So we really would just want you to be successful if you're going there, and that you have the support of your family and just are aware of everything that will happen. And then they'll do a district orientation. So that's in February, and then the district conference. You get really excited when you go there. You'll be like, I want to go now. I've had students who were going to be outbound and they would like email me or text me once a week. When am I going to get my ticket? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for my ticket. They're so excited to go. Like they're packed and ready to go. And they're like, as soon as I get my ticket, I'm out the door. So by that time, you're going to be like ready to leave. Especially after that conference, when you meet everybody from everywhere, and you will meet people coming back from their exchange, as well as a group that's getting ready to go out, and you'll get to hear the stories of those students coming back and all that they got to experience and their pictures and everything.
The people, we don't have anybody coming back because.
Oh, that's right. So this year it won't be anybody coming back. I'm sorry. So that.
But you can carry the flag of the country you're going to in the flag ceremony.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes.
And our, when we have inbounds, which we won't have any in April of 2022. but
Right.
In future years, the inbounds will carry their flags too. And it's really fun.
It's
So we may
beautiful.
just have 2 or 3 students in the flag ceremony this year. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yes,
I
Kai.
was just wondering if there's anyone else come to the bill this year that you know of?
Well, so sometimes we've had more than one student go to a country, and when you find out that that person is also going there, they form like a pretty tight bond.
Brazil's a very
Yeah.
big country.
And it's a pretty popular country too. So, yeah.
I was just telling Ella a while ago, Brazil is so important in the Rotary Youth Exchange program that at Grand Rapids in the past, that's this conference in July. There's a big soccer game and it's Brazil against the world. So all the Brazilians are on one team and everybody else is on another team. That's how many Brazilians there are who come here. And then, something like an equal number of Americans would be going to Brazil at the same time.
All right. And then in August, you would depart. If all goes well, that's it. I think that's the end.
I think we have some,
Yeah, that's it. Just some links. And then if you want to send me an email, I'll be happy to send you this presentation and then you will have the link. So she already sent me an email, and yes, and then it'll also be on YouTube. But yeah. So, okay, what questions do you all have for us? Yes.
Where would you find a scholarship or grant? Like how would you find that person?
So I just type in scholarships or grants for youth exchanges, but you have to watch because sometimes it'll pull up like private companies. They're much more expensive than we are. They're like more than double our
Is it like
cost.
specific to Indiana or?
Yes, I would. I didn't actually start looking. So, but yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. And if you find something, and you guys want to fill out some grant applications too, like I'm willing to help you. That's kind of what I do, is write grants, but I do.
Where would you be at? Like, do you have a?
I do. I'm room 3080. So I'm in the English hall. Yeah, upstairs. Yeah. So you can come. I'm an English teacher now. I just switched. I used to work at the administration, but yeah, changes and it's good. It's good. So now teaching English there. I started today. Today was my first day. I know, right? All right. Any other questions you guys can think of? How many of you are still interested after that amazing presentation? 2, 3, you guys are all, I want to go, right? I want to go. I was trying, yeah, that would be awesome to go there for a year. Oh my goodness. I think my husband would like it, but yeah, that would be awesome. So if you think of anything else, feel free to email me. I think my email is on the last slide. There's one more. Yeah. And then there's just a picture of our students when they went over and they get a t-shirt and they just do some leadership stuff. And yeah, that's Grand Rapids. And that's just our group. So just from the last few years. Yeah, so it depends on the homeschool, but like I would really fight for you guys, like to not have to repeat it if you didn't want to.
But it could affect their GPA.
Will it affect their GPA?
Why is it like, so if they don't, they pass over there as well. It does.
Oh, their GPA doesn't, it's pass fail. It's pass fail, that's it. Yeah, right. Mhm. Yeah, it won't affect the GPA. Did you hear that? That was our question. Will it affect your GPA, your exchange year? So let's go up, say you go to Japan in that language, oh my goodness, like, I don't know. Are you taking a class in Japanese? Okay, so I would be like symbol. I don't know what those are. Yeah. You just get a pass fail and it doesn't affect your GPA. Yeah, yes, yes. Yeah, it's kind of frozen. Mhm. So,
If you have little credits.
yeah, if you have the credits needed and if the school would approve your overseas trip, see, sometimes it comes down to money. They just want you to come back to the school because they want the federal funds for the student to be there. But it really does. But
Never had any student who had to come back to B&L, but I remember.
yeah, B&L is pretty good about it. Mitchell, in the past was not receptive, but they have a new superintendent now. So I would say that they would probably be receptive too. So, yeah. All right.